This is inner motion. We don't run from the dark, we walk straight into it. And we come out. You think you're lost because the noise is gone, the people are gone, the distractions are gone, and now it's just you alone, in silence, in confusion, in darkness, and you start to panic because you can't see the road anymore. You can't hear applause anymore, and there's no one to tell you if you're doing it right, but you're not. Lost, you're in the wilderness, and that's exactly where you're supposed to be, because this is where the boy dies and the man is born. You think you're lost because the noise is gone, the people are gone, the distractions are gone, and now it's just you alone, in silence, in confusion, in darkness. And you start to panic because you can't see the road anymore. You can't hear applause anymore, and there's no one to tell you if you're doing it right, but you're not lost. You're in the wilderness, and that's exactly where you're supposed to be, because this is where the boy dies and the man is born. The wilderness isn't a punishment. It's not the universe turning its back on you. It's not God forgetting your name. It's a test, a purification, a sacred fire, where everything weak in you burns a weed. You see, when a lion is born, it doesn't become king by staying in the safety of the den. It has to wander, bleed, starve, fight. It has to earn its roaring due. You're in the same place now. You don't need more comfort, you need more clarity. And clarity comes when the world goes quiet. You feel like you're losing yourself. But that's the point. You were never meant to stay the same. The boy you were can't take you where you're going. He has to die. And this wilderness, this silence, this isolation is the funerals. So stop calling it failure. Stop calling it loneliness. Stop calling it being lost. You're not lost. You've been sent into the wild to become unrecognizable. Wilderness is brutal, not because it wants to destroy you, but because it refuses to tolerate weakness. It doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care who you were or who you hoped. To become it only asks one question. Are you strong enough to stay? The boy, he needs comfort, he needs approval, he needs someone to hold his hand. He needs applause to keep going. He needs to be liked, to be seen, to be saved. But out here, there's no one coming to save you. No one's texting back. No one's asking if you're okay. No one's checking in. And for the first time, you realize just how much you depended on the noise to feel alive. But silence isn't absence. Silence is pressure. And pressure doesn't care about potential. It demands proof. This is the part where the boy panics, where he begs to go home, where he clings to old habits, old distractions, old versions of himself, but they don't work here. They die here because the wilderness has no room for softness. Only surrender, and only when you let go, when you stop trying to escape, do you begin to change. This is where you're false. Self, the performer, the victim, the fragile identity you built for approval, starts to crack, not because you're broken, but because you were never whole to begin with. You don't survive the wilderness by pretending to be strong. You survive it by facing the parts of yourself that aren't a boy in you. He doesn't know how to suffer. He doesn't know how to sit with pain. He doesn't know how to carry silence without crumbling, so he has to go. He has to die, and that death, it won't be loud, it won't be dramatic. It'll happen quietly on a Tuesday when no one's watching, when you're just sitting in your room, and the weight of everything you've avoided finally catches up to youth. That's the moment you let go, not because you give up, but because you realize the boy can't survive here. Only the man campaign isn't the enemy. It's the blade every sharp edge in you, every disciplined habit. Every ounce of clarity was carved through discomfort. You don't get stronger by avoiding suffering. You get stronger by walking into it and refusing to fold. Because pain is not the punishment, it's the forge. The boy sees pain and runs. The man sees pain and leans in because he knows it's doing something to him. Something permanent. You don't build a sword without heat. You don't build a man without pressure. And you're under pressure right now. Not because you're failing, but because something in you is being refined. Lies you told yourself, that you're not enough, that you'll never make it, that you're always behind. They're burning away now, and it hurts, but that hurt is proof you're leaving the old you behind. So sit with it, let it shape you. Let it cut off everything that was holding you back, because pain that's faced becomes power, and wounds that are endured become wisdom. Most people never Learn this: they run from anything that feels hard. They medicate the ache, they numb the process, and they stay soft. Forever wondering why they never grew, but not you. You stayed, you endured, you let the fire do its work, and when the smoke clears, you'll emerge sharper than you've ever been, because pain is the price of precision. And the wilderness isn't just tearing you down, it's carving something holy out of you. You are not falling apart, you are being sharpened. Let it hurt, let it cut, let it build. Silence isn't weakness, it's a weapon, but most people are too afraid to use it because silence forces you to hear what you've been avoiding. Your doubts, your guilt, your unprocessed pain, all the noise you drowned out with attention now. It echoes, but silence is not empty, it's full of answers. In a world addicted to validation, silence is the rebellion in a world chasing noise. Stillness is power. You want to know who you really are. Turn everything off, sit with yourself. No music, no messages, no distractions. Just you, breathing, feeling, thinking. Gittle. Break the boy in you, asterisk. Because the boy needs noise. He needs reassurance. He needs attention to feel real. But the man, he finds clarity in the quiet. He doesn't need the crowd. He doesn't chase applause. He walks in silence because he knows where he's going. You learn things in silence. You'll never learn from people. You see things in stillness. You'll never see in the spotlight. This is where vision is born. This is where conviction is forged. This is where you stop performing and start transforming. Let the world wonder where you went. Let them talk, let them scroll, let them post. You're building in the silence, you're healing in the silence. You're sharpening in the silence. One day you'll return, and they won't recognize you. Because silence doesn't just change your surroundings, it changes your soul. You don't need to speak, you don't need to explain. You don't need to prove anything. Your silence is enough, because when you walk back out of this wilderness, you'll be so unshakable, you won't need words to make them feel its safety is not your friend, it's the cage that keeps you small. Think you're safe, but you're not growing. You think you're in control, but you're suffocating slowly. Comfort is the slow death, the quiet trap, the invisible ceiling that keeps boys from ever becoming men. Because real growth doesn't happen in what you know. It happens when you walk into what you don't know. The uncertain, into the unfamiliar, into the I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. Anyway, the boy in you, he clings to the edge, he wants guarantees, he wants signs, he wants someone to say, you'll be okay. But the man, he steps off the ledge, he walks blind into the storm. He trusts, not in what he sees, but in what he's becoming. That's the wilderness. It doesn't offer you a map, it offers you a mirror. And you won't like what you see at first, because you'll see the coward, the liar, the soft version of yourself you built for survival. But then, if you keep walking, if you stop turning back, you'll find the version of you that was buried under all of it. The warrior, the builder, the man. And that man, he's only born when you stop clinging to what's safe. So let go of the plan, let go of the image, let go of who you thought you were supposed to be. Burn it all, step into the unknown. Let the darkness teach you what the light never could. You don't need to know where you're going, you just need to know you're not staying here. In nature doesn't care about your plans. It doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care if you're tired, or scared, or not ready out here. The rain falls whether you asked for it or not. The storm hits. Without warning, the night comes, and it doesn't wait for you to light a fire ant. That's the point. You weren't sent here to be comfortable. You were sent here to be broken, so you could be rebuilt. The wilderness is harsh, but it's honest. It strips away everything fake, every mask, every lie, every performance you put on for the world. Because when it's just you, cold, hungry, bleeding, screaming into the wind, no one claps, no one comforts you. And that's when the truth shows up, the truth about who you really are. Not who you say you are, not who people think you are, but who you are. When everything is taken away, the boy, he can't survive that truth. He'll try to run, he'll try to bargain, he'll try to fake strength. But nature doesn't negotiate, it humbles you. It starves your ego. It forces you to either rise, asterisk, or rotand. If you let it, if you don't tap out, if you face the cold instead of running from it, it will do something to you, something sacred. It will kill the part of you that needed to be liked. It will kill the part of you that was afraid to be alone. It will kill the part of you that waited for permission, and, in its place, a new man will stand. Not perfect, but forged, hardened, alive in a way you've never felt before, because rebirth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in chaos. It happens in suffering. It happens in the dirt, in the blood, in the silence of nightfall. You don't rise clean, you rise covered in scars. Those scars, they're not shameful. They're sacred. They're proof that nature didn't destroy you. It delivered youth. There is no trumpet, no celebration, no spotlight when the boy dies and the man takes his first breath. It doesn't happen in front of a crowd. It happens in the dark, when no one's watching, when no one's clapping, when no one even knows what you've just survived, but you know. And that's enough, because you're not the same anymore. Something in you is quieter now, but heavier still, but sharper, softer in your eyes, but colder in your bones. You move differently, you speak less, you need less, and for the first time in your life, you don't care if they understand you. You're not here to be understood. You're here to become undeniable. That boy you used to be, he's gone. The one who needed validation, the one who chased attention, the one who crumbled under pressure. You buried him in the wilderness, and in his place, you built someone who walks with silence, sleeps with discipline, moves with purpose. This man, he doesn't beg for peace, he builds it. He doesn't wait to be saved. He saves himself, and that's why they won't recognize you when you return. That's why they'll stare. That's why they'll ask, what happened to you? Because they weren't there. They didn't see the fire. They didn't hear your cries. They didn't bleed with you, break with you, burn with you. But you did. You earned this, not by becoming someone else, but by finally becoming who you were always meant to be, a man unapologetic, unbreakable, unrecognizable. I don't need the crowd. I walk alone, because the path I walk is one most people will never choose. I don't need validation, because I've looked into the mirror and earned my own respect. I don't chase pleasure. I chase mastery. I chase discipline. I chase the fire that forges men. I don't ask for ease. I ask for endurance, because I'd rather bleed with purpose than live numb in comfort. I've died 1,000 deaths in silence, in shame, in solitude, and every time I came back stronger. I've buried the boy who hesitated. I've killed the version of me who needed permission. I've burned the mask I wore just to be accepted. Now I speak less. I move slower. But when I move, it's with weight, with direction, with force. I don't explain myself anymore, because I live in alignment and men in alignment. Don't need to be understood. I don't need the world to see me, because I see myself clearly. Finally, I am not loud. I am not soft. I am not lost. I am a man, built from fire, raised in silence, sharpened in darkness, unrecognizable to the world that once knew me. You'll come back eventually, but you won't be the same. You'll walk into rooms that once felt familiar, and you'll feel like a ghost. Not because you've lost yourself, but because you've outgrown who you had to be. To survive those places, people will talk to you like nothing's changed, but everything has. You'll smile, but deep down, you'll know they don't see you. They see the version of you that no longer exists. You'll notice the noise now, the shallowness, the distractions, the weakness, the comfort. They cling to, because you let all of that end. When they say you've changed, you'll say nothing, because they'll never understand what it took. They didn't see the darkness. They didn't hear the silence. They didn't feel the breaking, but you did. So you walk different, think different, love different, move different, and not to prove anything, but because now you answer to something higher, something deeper, something returnal. Not a boy anymore. You're not pretending. You're not performing. You're not playing the game. You're just real now, fully, finally, unapologetically, and for the first time. You don't want to be seen. You want to be effective. You don't want attention. You want alignment. You don't want to be liked. You want to be legendary, because now you don't move for applause. You move with purpose, and that purpose isn't loud. It's lethal. So return if you must, but know this: the world will not recognize the man who was born in the fire, and that is the point. This is inner motion. We don't run from the dark. We walk straight into it, and we come out unrecognizable.